don't believe in looting working class communities. Obviously, mom and pop shops, your panaderia, your lavanderia, obviously that's our hood too, right? So we want to reassure people who feel a certain type of way about that. That's not what this march is about, right? We're here in solidarity with George Floyd. We're here in solidarity. We're here in solidarity with Alfonso Limon. And we're here in solidarity with Meagan Hockaday. There are many, many more unnamed people who have been killed by the police just within the past 5 years in Oxnard, right? There's been Michael Mahoney, who the police followed him into his own home and they murdered him in his own house. And I had to hear from his twin sister about how she had to pick pieces of his brain off of the floor. And the police do not tell you that side of the story, right? They tell you he was so threatening, he was endangering us. Like, no, actually, he was a gentle soul. He loved fishing, right? And he had actually gone to high school with some of these police officers, and they had always bullied him. And they actually followed him into his home and killed him. And this has already been like 10 years ago. So we just want to give a shout out to all of these almost like unknown stories that happened here in Oxnard, you know? And we're in solidarity with so many people who couldn't be here today. Like the family of Robert Ramirez, that's another person who died of prone asphyxiation. What happened with Robert Ramirez? He was having a medical crisis. He was having an overdose. And they called 911. But guess who showed up first? It was the police. And the police stopped the ambulance from giving aid to him. The police came and they all piled on top of him. It was several officers. And he did not die of overdose. He died of prone asphyxiation. They choked him to death. So that was Robert Ramirez. So this is another story that we want people to know. This happened in your own community. This happened here in Oxnard. And that's why it's so important that we recognize this is not a new phenomenon, right? This is not something that has just started happening. This has happened since police have existed, right? So we just want to remind people of these lesser known names that are here with us. Their presence is with us. We take the streets for them too. So when I say their names, say presente. Michael Mahoney. Presente. Robert Ramirez. Presente. Alfonso Limon. Presente. Meagan Hockaday. Presente. George Floyd. Presente. Thank you. So we're still waiting on the families. We have two families that are going to speak today. The family of Alfonso Limon is going to speak, and the family of Meagan Hockaday is going to speak. So we ask you guys to stick around, and then we're going to have a march. And of course, like we said, you know what I mean? These are little mom and pop shops. They are not the force. They are not the target of our anger, right? We know who the target of our anger is, and that's the fucking pigs. That's who we're angry at. That's what we're here to fight against.
Fuck the PD! Fuck the police!
Who here was at the last march? All right. So, as you know, we believe in militant direct action. We believe in taking the streets. We reject the notion that if you're respectful to the cops, if you talk nice to the cops, they'll give you a hug, right? They'll bend down on one knee. They'll, you know, no. We have seen peaceful protests all over the country now. People getting run over. People getting tear gas. Little girls getting tear gas in their eyes. We have seen people getting beat with batons. We have seen people be brutalized over nothing, over them trying to peacefully protest this horrible police terror that we face every day. So we just want to make it clear that, yes, we do believe in taking militant action, but we know what the target of that action is. The target of that action has to be the police. It's not our own community, right? So we're here in solidarity with the people who regularly face police brutality. For example, who here lives in an area that was under the gang injunction here in Oxnard? Yeah. The gang injunction, right? What kind of rules did they have under the gang injunction? They had fucking curfew, right? They're talking about people barely getting curfew right now for the first time in their lives. No, a lot of us grew up with curfew. A lot of us, they weren't even letting us congregate in groups, right? A lot of us, they said if you dress a certain way, if you have a certain style, then you're a criminal, then you deserve to get shot at, right? No, we reject that. We reject that racial profiling. And we know that's the standard here in Oxnard. That's been the standard under these gang injunctions that have locked up so many people unnecessarily. There's even been newborn babies placed on the gang list based on who their mom and dad were. You were born and you're automatically a gang member. That's how the city of Oxnard operates. They want to criminalize us and paint us all with the same brush, and we say no to that. There's also been cases where, they say, hey, if you're a good person, if you want to do the right thing, sign up at the police station and give your name. And guess what? You are giving your name to be put on the gang database. And that's happened to people I know who are like 16 years old, So this police terror is nothing new to us. This is something that we have faced every day from living in the hood. This is something that we have faced so commonly throughout our lives. And we need to recognize, obviously, it is primarily black people who face the majority of police repression. And we also need to recognize that how many people are locked up unnecessarily serving such long sentences, brutalized, dehumanized because of the color of the skin. And we say that's police terror. They're the terrorists, not us. That being said, like the examples I just gave, we know that in every hood there exists police terror. Every hood, every place that there's working class people, there's police repression. If you live in Wainimi and you're standing in front of the liquor store and the cops roll up, what are they going to do? They're going to ask you what you're doing there, right? If you live in a hood with a gang injunction, they're going to ask you, hey, where do you live? Where do you live? What's your name? Are you on probation? Right? These are all the kind of offenses that we face on our daily basis. And although they took away the gang injunction, guess what? OPD is trying to find a loophole to bring it back. So they're trying to do anything they can to oppress us. And we need to say, no more.
Fuck the cops! Fuck them!
We know that these protests work. That's the only way that they even prosecuted the evil human who killed George Floyd. That's the only way they even gave us up to arrest him, because there's been mass uprisings across the country. So we know that these protests work. If no one had said anything, if no one had thought that, guess what? He would still be at home eating his liver and onions or whatever the hell he eats for dinner every night, right? I don't know. He looks like he's nasty shit because he's nasty. So, you know what I mean? But he would be free on the streets today if people had immobilized, taken the streets, and said, we've had enough. Ya basta with this police terror. So we just want to say that we know that this is a righteous movement. We know that we have the good faith. We have the power to bring our community together, to recognize our common enemy is the pigs, not each other. So, welcome. So once again, we need to recognize the racism that exists in our community. We need to recognize the toll, the real material toll that it has on black people, on the majority of her police terror. And we also need to recognize that right now we need to be united. All races need to be united to fight back against this threat against us. And I see a sign right there, black and brown unity. I see a sign, and white silence, right? So this is all of us coming together right now. And that's a beautiful thing, that all of us recognize the racist police are the enemy. And that's why we're uniting right now to fight back. So we're looking around. I don't know if the Limon family has rolled up or the Hockaday family has rolled up yet. Are they out there? The Meagan family? Okay. Would you like to say some words? Okay, so Meagan Hockaday! Presente! for coming out. Thank you for inviting me and our family and holding space for my sister in your hearts, in your home, in your prayers. Meagan Hockaday, say her name.
Meagan Hockaday!
I just wanted to say just a couple words really briefly because what she had to say was so perfect. I didn't want to interrupt that or disrupt what she just said. But I do feel like this system was set up the way that it's working right now. So this is a well-oiled machine. This is doing exactly what it was created to do from the moment the forefathers sat down and created it. And remember, when these laws, when these rules were written, they were not written for our people or people of color. We were not considered people when they made these rules. Therefore, these rules do not apply to us. This system needs to be toppled and eradicated. It does not need to be redone. In the meantime, we have funded state-sanctioned violence that have allowed us to pay for the murders of our loved ones. We now have new ancestors that we paid to get here by funding things like police departments and our taxes, paying them to brutalize our neighborhoods. I see a lot of different colors here, and one thing I did want to echo is that Black people are number one being affected by this. That is, once again, to echo the Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter. That all of you are not being affected. This is not to state that cops don't kill white people. This is not to state that there are not 1,000 issues that can be coupled with capitalism and white supremacy that affect all of us. But right now, right here, right now, because of George Floyd, say his name. George Floyd! Right now, because of that reason, we are here to discuss police brutality. And that is affecting my people.
Right.
Yeah! That is my people. So, with that being said, please believe me when I say there is not a single person that's more outraged than us who lost someone.
Yeah!
Okay? There's not a single protester out on these streets more angry than we are. So if we can cap our rage and not destroy our community, you fucking right, we expect you not to.
Yeah!
We expect you not to. To double up on that, when people come in and infiltrate our message and infiltrate our protest with their own agenda, what they do is sabotage further the Black race. Who is getting blamed for looting? Who is getting blamed for destruction? When the fuck can a protester stop to steal some Jordans? Where are we going to put them? What, we're going to take our TV and hide it behind a tree while we continue to march? It's clearly not the protesters. But guess what? They know that. Allowing people to come in and infiltrate your message allows them to continue to use a reason to brutalize us further. Let's not give them that here today.
Don't give them that reason!
If you showed up for a reason other than Black Lives Matter, if you showed up for a reason other than to fucking stop police brutality, go home. If you're here to make this work for me, for my daughters, for my children, if you're here to make the image of us and our message to stop killing our bodies about you, then leave. Otherwise, please help us respectfully honor our loved ones. They stole people that matter to us. We are not elected activists. This is not a life we chose. We are fucking pissed because these are our family members. Okay, Robert Ramirez, say his name.
Robert Ramirez.
Alfonso Limon, say his name.
Alfonso Limon.
Juan Zavala, say his name.
Juan Zavala.
Michael Mahoney, say his name.
Michael Mahoney.
And once again, Meagan Hockaday, say her name.
Meagan Hockaday.
This community these police stole those people from us. So we will show these people what we feel, what we mean today, without destroying the mom and pop businesses that create jobs and an economy for our people of color here. So let's be loud. Let's tell them fuck you. Yeah. So let's keep it cool. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Off our streets!
Killer cops!
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 Off our streets!
That's right. And this also ties into the fact that the police officers who murdered Alfonso Limon, none of them got fired. Not a single one of them lost their jobs over that. That's right. And actually, Alfonso Limon was killed walking home from Pacifica, right? He wasn't running. They love to tell that lie. He was not running. He had been working out of Pacifica and he was walking home. And you know what? They shot him like 16 times. He said, you got the wrong person. He put his hands up, right? What did they do? They didn't care. They shot him 16 times. So more than 16 times. So one of the officers who killed him, guess where he ended up? At Pacifica. He ended up at Pacifica as one of their school cops, as one of the resource, like they give him some fancy title, right? That's not a fucking resource. He has blood on his hands, right? He's a killer. And you know what? We demand him to be removed from Pacifica. We demand all the cops out of our schools. All those fucking dirty cops out of our schools. And one thing that's important to remember about Meagan is she was calling for help, right? This was a mental health crisis. They were putting a 911 call for help. They said, she's in a crisis, send an ambulance, send a counselor, send a mediator, right? What did they get instead? They got a murderous pig who shot her in front of her own children, who killed her in front of her own children within seconds of arriving at her home. So why is it that the pigs are first responders? They obviously want to kill us. They obviously see us as criminals. They obviously see us as the enemy, right? They're afraid of us. Look at how they're acting right now, running us over, beating us with batons, right? They're literally shooting into crowds of protesters right now. Why is that, right? Because they know that when we're united, when we're here together in power, we are the ones that can take over this country, right? It belongs to us. I can share some words of what the family has told me about Alfonso Limon. First of all, he was a sweetheart. First of all, he had such a big heart. They told me he loved to eat snacks. He'd come home and he'd get on those snacks. He had loved nachos, right? He loved hot dogs, right? He loved all these snacks. And he was so happy with his friends, right? His friends at Pacifica High School, they called him Lemon, right? He was such a peaceful guy. They loved him so much. I don't know if one of his friends, one of your friends, could you want to give some words about Alfonso Limon? Say some words, say some words.
Alfonso Limon, he was a great guy. I saw him the day before he was murdered. I used to work with him at a warehouse, and I've known him since high school. He was loving, he was caring. Every day at work, he would crack jokes, and we would all laugh together. We would go eat lunch together. And I actually played a show that night. He was murdered. Afterwards, I went to a friend's house to hang out, and I got the call. Someone told me that Limon was shot. He was killed. They had his body out in the street. I was shocked. I didn't know what to think. It was fucking bullshit. Fuck the fucking cops. It's such fucking bullshit. He was such a good guy. And he didn't bang, he didn't do shit. He was a good fucking person. Fuck the fucking pigs. Fucking corrupt ass fucking food. Fuck them.
Thank you for those words. I remember one story that Claudia, one of his sisters, told me, is that he was walking home with his brother, right? And they killed him. They don't send the family a card. They don't say our apologies. They don't say our bad, right? They don't tell you that they just murdered your loved one. They don't say shit. It was because the brother was there on the spot with Alfonso. He ran home and said, Mom, Dad, they killed him. They killed Alfonso. And they said, what? What do you mean? It's not possible. What do you mean? And so the whole family went back. And his sister said she didn't believe it until she saw his body there. And she recognized his body because he was wearing the pair of shoes that she had just bought him. That's bullshit! And imagine seeing that. Imagine seeing that something that you gave to your family member with love, and now it's turned into something so horrible that you never would wish to see. And all the Limon family wants is justice, you know. They even asked the city of Oxnard to put a memorial there. The city of Oxnard said no, they had to build their own memorial. They had to put it there themselves. And we really encourage you guys to, you know, visit that memorial. Not in big groups today, obviously. But, you know, roll through it, pay your respects, leave a candle, leave some flowers. Because, unfortunately, there are monuments, invisible monuments, all over the city of Oxnard where people have been killed here. People have been killed, like Meagan in the vineyard apartment. People have been killed, you know, in different neighborhoods. And, you know, we need to remember these spots, and we know we will never forget them. They will never be forgotten. And when we're here, we come together, we bring them alive. And when we march with their faces above us, they're here with us right now. Alfonso Limon!
Presente!
Meagan Hockaday!
Presente!
Ramirez!
Presente!
Juan Zavala!
Presente!
Mahoney!
Presente!
George Floyd!
Presente!
And they will never be forgotten! Okay, how you guys feeling? Should we start the march?
If you don't mind. 30 years I've lived in this city. Each year, so many good memories. With my black family, my Mexicano family, my Chumash family, and my white family. But with the beauty comes the pain. The blood of the people spilled again. The police murder. The politicians do nothing. Nothing! The landlords evict, and the pigs enforce it. The rich move in, and the poor get kicked out. I don't want to move to the fucking desert.
Fuck the desert! I love Oxnard! Fuck the desert! I love the fucking ocean! Yeah!
That's right. The working people of Oxnard, we deserve the fucking world! But it will never be given to us. We must demand it. We must unite against those who don't have our interests in mind. Unity against those who shoot us down in the streets. There's real steps we can take to change these things. The first is, hold your middle finger in the air and say, fuck the police!
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 One more time. Fuck the police!
Fuck the police!
Thank you.
Who got off their knees and charged into the police. he showed us what bravery is like. He didn't give a shit if they shot him. They didn't give a shit if they tased him. He was making a statement right there that we have the power and we have the courage to fight back.
Fight back!
If you would like to get involved, we have housing groups here. We have unemployed council groups here. We have a lot of people who believe in militant direct action. No more sitting down. No more kneeling. Please return safely with a buddy, because you know these undercover pigs, I bet you can guess who they are. These undercover pigs have been with us this whole time. So fucking shout out to them. Fuck you, undercover pigs.
Fuck Donald Trump!
So make sure you're not followed back to your car. Make sure you have a buddy. Make sure you leave safely. And thank you guys all for coming. Fuck the police.
Fuck Trump!
Shout out to the families of Meagan Hockaday who spoke. Meagan Hockaday, presente.
Meagan Hockaday, presente!
Meagan Hockaday, presente. Meagan Hockaday,
Presente!